Hi guys, to make this makeup purse, you need two fabric. So I'm using Ankara and I added interfacing and satin. Yeah, I added stay to both of them. So it's 11 inch by 11 inch. That's the measurement I used. Now I'll go ahead and sew it round in form of that's a square. It's the same measurement. So I'm just stitching it round all the way round. So once I do this, you trim out any rough edges, and the next thing I will be attaching my zipper to one side of the fabric. So I'll make the right side of the zipper face the right side of the fabric. Then you want to pull the zipper down a bit so that when you want to start sewing the beginning part, it will not give you issues. Then you want to use your pins to also secure the zipper to the fabric, right? So you just sew as seen like this, right? And then yeah, the zipper can be longer than the fabric, no problem. You trim it off later. So after I've done that, I'm going to top stitch the fabric onto the zipper. You see the way I folded the fabric. So I'm just top stitching, and you can see that I opened the zipper so that the zip head will not obstruct my sewing. Okay, so here I've already fixed the I'm done top stitching. Now next thing, I'm going to sew the other side of the fabric onto the other side of my zipper. Okay, I'll pin it and I'll sew it like the other way. So I'm just trying to zoom in my camera so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you just sew like that. Yeah, so once you're done sewing, I'm going to notch the two edges of the fabric on the lower part there. So okay, so I'm just trying to complete the sewing. I think I ran out of thread at a point. Okay, so that's it. So that's the trick. Always open the zipper when you're sewing so that the zip here doesn't, obstruct what you're doing. Now I'm going to fold the fabric. Okay, before I do that, I want to top stitch the other side of the zipper that I sewn. Okay, so I'm just going to, fold this to the right side. Okay, so once I fold this to the right side, I'm going to also top stitch the other side. Yeah, so once you fold this to the other side, okay, you're not going to top stitch. Okay, if you don't top stitch, each time you want to open up the makeup bag, the fabric might get stuck in the zipper, right? So I just want to top stitch. Okay, so once you're done top stitching, we're going to move on to the next step, which is very simple. I'm taking my time to explain because I don't want it to look complicated. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about notching the other time. Now I'm going to close my zipper back now. Okay, so once I close the zipper, I'm going to create two notches, at the end of the fabric. Okay, so you can see the way I folded it like this. Okay, so I'm going to create a notch here like that, and the other side of the fabric. Yeah, I'm going to create a notch like so. So once I finish notching it, I'll now, refold it again in such a way that the notch will correspond with the zipper on this side. Okay, then I'll just use my pin to secure it like this, and on the other side too, I'll make sure the notch corresponds with the middle of the zipper like that. You can see what I've done. So now then I have a long string that I've already made here with my fabric. Okay, so I'm just going to I'll attach the string to one side of the purse. So meanwhile, before I do that, I'm going to sew one side like this. Okay, and then I'll trim off the excess like that. Then this other side, this is the string I want to use like a handle. I'll put it on the other side of the purse here. So I'll put it inside like this, and then I'll stitch it down. Okay, so just use your pin and preferably open the zipper, move the zipper head back a bit so that the zipper head will not obstruct your sewing. So I'm just going to stitch it down as you can see like this. Okay, so once I do this, we'll move on to the next step. I'm just trimming out all the excesses there. Now I'll use my chalk to create like draw some lines that I explained to us. So this is it. It's 1.5 inch by 1 inch. So I did that on all the four corners. Then I'll use my scissors to now trim out. Okay, so yeah, I'm trimming out, the place I marked, all the four edges, or the four corners rather. Okay, so once I'm done trimming it, I will now use my bias tape to tape the edge of the part I sewed before. That's where you have the zipper. Yeah, that edge. I'm using my bias tape to tape it, just to give it a very neat finishing. Okay, so yeah, I'm just taping it like that, and I also tape the other side. Meanwhile, the four corners that I cut open are still very much. Okay guys, so now I'm just trimming all the excesses, and I'm using the bar tape to, like, knitting up the rough edges like I said. Okay, so I'm just doing the second side. There are two sides of the zipper, so I'm just using the bias to cover up the other side. Then now we're going to move to the next thing, which is how to sew the corners I open. Okay, so for the corners, it's very easy. You just open it up like this, as I've done like this. You open it up, and then you just sew it down. So we have four corners, so I'm going to show us how to sew them. It's very easy. Just run a stitch like this, and then when you finish sewing, you can use your weaving machine to weave it, or you can use a bias tape. But I use the bias tape to tape my own, just to make it neat. So I'll pick another edge like this and fold it like that. Can you see? And then you sew it down like that. So when you're done doing that, I'm not going to use my bias tape to tape each of those edges. It's just to make it neat, so that the seam or the thread do not start coming out, basically. So yeah, that's it. Just use your bias tape to tape it. I'm sure most of us know how to use a bias tape to tape, where you tape a neckline and all of that. So I'm just going to tape it like this. I'm placing it, and then just tape it around. So once I'm done doing that, I'll now open up the zipper like this, and then I will now turn the purse onto the other side that's onto the right side. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. Can you see that? So if you want to, you can have two handles. Like, may have just one on one side. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. You can use denim for this. You can use chinos. You can even use a fabric that is more thicker than this. Depends on you anyway. Yeah, so this is the final outcome of the purse here. I'm just putting my makeup stuff inside, and then just zipping it up, so you can see, very nice and good. You can make it bigger if you want. Yeah, so feel free to leave your comment in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.